select first. So, not a great opening hand. We've only got one land in the wrong colour, and we've got two solid colours in hand, so it's definitely worth mulliganing this. Okay, it's not a bad keep. We do have one way to get on. Once we get some other lands, we can get going with it. So we keep it, hopefully scry. Oh no, we put the Battle Singer to the bottom because it's not worth keeping it in this hand. And so we play the Forest and ship the turn. So our opponent, ooh, he's on black. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So move to our next step. Oh, we draw an Imara Raptor. This is not a great start for us, ladies and gentlemen. One land hand and nothing to do with it. So we ship the turn. All we need is any land and we can get going. And we draw an Epic Confrontation. Fabulous. So, at the moment in time, we are looking like we are going to be discarding to hand size unless we rip an untapped land off the top. Yeah, Plaguing Rats, okay, and then the battlefield. Okay. We've got to put a card on top of our library. That is not great. So we know what we're going to draw next turn, which is not great. We put the Orange File List on top. I don't know why we did that, in case there was a possible mill. So it wasn't worth doing. So we ship the turn. He's then playing Gurung Bad Witches. And declares attack for 2. So, we still don't draw into anything. So we keep the hand in case we manage to draw into a black source. And that way we can get it. So we discard the Raptor, ship the turn. Our opponent, meanwhile, is just playing lands like a champ. And managing to do things with his board state. Fabulous. Opponent then goes to attacks. And declares. Don't know why he doesn't declare attacks with the Witches. Because if he taps, we're going to get to ping something or ping him in the face. So it's a bit unusual why he would do that. At least that way he could have got in 1 damage without suffering a damage himself. And it's looking pretty much over, so we just decide to concede at this point. So, game 2. We go first again, try to get it. And we got some good lands. We got some good mana, so we decided to keep the hand. We got 3 colours easily accessible, which is nice and good. Play the Formal Falls to start with, so that way we can get the Ordinary Survivalist out immediately. So then we ship the turn. Opponent goes with a Swamp turn 1 and no further play. So then we draw into Trans Guild Promenade. But we decided to go with Bajuka Bond Brigand first. Reasons why is they're generally mono black, tends to have a lot of destroy target non-black and do damage to non-black. So if we get the Bajuka Brigand out there, we can start growing it immediately and getting through things. Our opponent, in the meantime, is playing. Ooh. So we get to have to reveal our hand, and then he gets to discard a card for us. So at this point, he obviously takes the Survivalist. That's the most logical choice of this. Otherwise, we're just going to start getting in with big, beefy guys. Opponent is though tanking on the idea and debating what to do, which is a bit weird. Yeah, he does take the Survivalist, logically. Okay, so we draw in some more land. So we put the Promenade down. That way we can at least colour fix for any allies that do sort of turn up in our hand now, which allows, and we get in for a solid 2. Putting our opponent at 18. He then finds his 3rd land drop, and what does he go with the play? Oh, he's tapping all 3. Phyrexian Rager. Okay, so he's losing a life and he's going to draw a card. We can obviously deal with that with the Epic Confrontation, and it also allows us to get through some more damage. We draw into another Trans Guild Promenade. So, you know, at this point we decide to play it. That way we can definitely make sure we've always got mana fixing on the go. We cast the Epic Confrontation to remove the Rage out of the way. So it pumps it up by +1/+2, and then they fight. And so I'm now swinging for 3 on the crack, which is nice, putting him to 14. So we need to start drawing some allies at some point, or ideally lead the Stampede. As I lead the Stampede will allow us to sort of essentially refill the hand a little bit. Right, so Chittering Rex comes in, meaning we have to put a card on top of our library. So obviously we've got to put one of the lands on top. Yep. So we draw into a land. Look at that. Again, we cast Epic Confrontation to remove the rat out of the way. And allowing us to crack in for 3 again and putting our opponent to 11 at this rate. So we got a lot of active draws from now. We've drawn a lot of land out of the deck, so we should be drawing into some allies somewhere along the way. Oh. So Tendrils of Corruption obviously does 3 damage and he's going to gain life back. That's really annoying. So now we're just on sort of top deck wars at this point, trying to find something worth playable. Coralhell Guide is not really a playable card at this point. It's really a card that we used for activating our other allies, so we don't play it at this point because there's no point. We need something on the board that's going to make a difference. Our opponent plays a Rager. Yep, obviously getting that card draw value engine going. And plays a Rat. So Coon Battle Singer, interesting. It's a good card, but again, we generally wanting a better body on the board. So it's kind of not worth playing because we want to be able to do a lot of things. Like at this point, we can grow quite one of our bigger dudes up quite nicely, so we decided to keep it in hand. Meanwhile, our opponent obviously gets in for 3, putting us back below our starting 20. And plays a... Ooh, right. So Pestilence, so you can start doing some damage. And Gumbardi Witches. Drawing to another Coral Helm. Again, it's not the card that we were looking for. It's not the card that we're wanting. So we have to start thinking very carefully about what we're going to do. It's kind of tempting to play the Akun Battle Singer and swing in for a large chunk of damage, but it'd be better to have the Coral Helm Guides on the board first, ideally, so we can get through the wide strategy. But let's go with the Battle Singer, see what we do. Yep, always yes and always yield. Dear Lord, that's something that we'll always be doing. So we put the Coral Helm Guide down, and we get the other Coral Helm in hand, so we can activate it again. So we declare attacks. Our opponent, at this point, doesn't want to do the trade-off, so it's not worth it to them. So then our opponent is beginning to tank a little on what their plan is. They've got 3 cards in hand. They've got dominant board position at this point. Yep, so they're going to deal damage to each creature, which is understandable. Yep, so miniature board wipe. Declares with the Rager for an extra 2 damage, which is logical. And then, ooh, for 4 mana, ooh, something big is coming down. 5 mana. Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Kind of felt that was a bit of a misplay. He should have really done that before with the rats on the board, and then he could have board wiped a little bit, sort of thing. But he doesn't know what's in hand, so I assume that's why he's holding things up. Okay, Gumbardi Witches. He's hitting us, and we're hitting him. The most logical target. We can't do anything to his boards. There's no point. At this point, we're in sort of trouble. We need one of our +1 counter dudes, ideally, in the next draw, or a Lead the Stampede again, because with Lead the Stampede, with all this mana we have on the board, we can start developing a board state quite nicely. Gets in again. Say, I don't know why he's not attacking with the Witches, because he will effectively deal 1 damage without having to worry about one of his guys getting damaged, or himself. Yep, he's attacking our hand again and gets rid of the Coral Helm Guide. So now we are literally needing to top deck something here. Oh, yep, so pings us for 1. And we're going to ping him for 1, because it makes logical sense. He's then, yep. Yep, and of course he's just going to remove the board with Pestilence and us. And that is our game 1, ladies and gentlemen.